Anyway, here's the deal. I was really confused about Isaiah, so I'm excited to read Isaiah first of all because one of your favorite verses in here, my grandmother's favorite verse, which is Isaiah 40. Is it 40:31? I'll find it, but I'll shout out to my grandmother. Rest in peace. But I was excited about this, but then that's also the one
that's on. If it's 40:31, that's the one that's on my vision board. I mean, my affirmations. That's the one where it says, but they shall wait for the Lord, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up wings like eagles. I'm sorry, Isaiah 40:31. But they who shall wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. That was a great verse.
No, that's your favorite verse.
Yeah, I thought. Oh, okay.
No, that was your verse.
40:31. You said your grandma's verse is 40:31.
How could you?
It's 40:31.
Huh. No, that's not it. So I obviously have the wrong one. It might be 30 something. I'm gonna find it right now. But it's basically like I will guide you with my righteous right hand. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll get to that. That's not what we read anyway. We actually are still in the beginning of Isaiah, and I'm trying to figure out who Isaiah is. What? Oh yeah. So Rose was saying like she was calling out Rose for anyone. But I was trying to figure out like who Isaiah is. I feel like didn't he or maybe I
Isaiah was a prophet.
He was a prophet,
and he saw God in his dreams.
Similar to many people who we've read about, he kind of had some sort of like he had some animosity towards people because of what they were doing, because of their sin. So sometimes, and this is easy for people to do, and I think it's just going to be real. It's a lot of church people are known for this sort of thinking, which is like, oh, well, you're not supposed to do that, so I dislike you, right? Like, or I have to shun you because you're not supposed to do that. It's a very fine line between, you know, if somebody's doing something that you don't agree with or you dislike, you can, you know, sort of like separate yourselves from them. You don't have to judge them though. But I think it's a natural thing because you just sort of like are trying to stay away from the thing yourself, and then somebody does it and you want to name it. But God doesn't like that. Like, one of the things we have to realize when it comes to judging other people is that God made all of us. So you might think that somebody, you know, is doing the wrong thing and you feel like you need to call them out. That's not your job. That's not our job, right? Like, we have to live and let live. Sure, share the gospel with them, share your opinions with them if they want that, but it's like you have to live your life, and the judgment of you, like the judgment by you to someone else, really just, it's not helpful. It's one thing if you're trying to help somebody and you're like, hey, maybe you didn't know this, but let me share it with you, and then if you're willing, I can help you do this, right? Like, maybe you didn't know you were going the wrong way, maybe you need a ride over here. That's one thing, but to really like shout out the window at somebody and say you're going there, right? It's like, okay,
because then you get into that judgmental tone.
Yeah, as I tell you though, it's easy to do.
It's very easy.
So I'm not saying that as like especially a judgment,
especially if you're a prophet.
But I think a lot of times that's what sort of like church folk are sort of like known for, which is why people don't like to go to church. One of the reasons. And it's like, listen, man, we're all just out here trying to do our best, I think. And so that's that. But anyway, Isaiah kind of had some of that sort of like, you know, that's what I took. He had some of that with him, like okay, well, you know, these people are doing this wrong, and so I hate them, or, you know, whatever. Yeah. But he had a conversation with God.
Yeah. The meaning of Isaiah is Yahweh is salvation.
That's kind of like what he stood for, because he's basically just telling us about what's to come and about Jesus.